Hey guys, ooh, I'm like super up close in this frame. Okay, hi, it's Layla back with another Mompreneur Chronicles. Introduce myself. My name is Layla Noah Least. I am the founder and owner of BGLH Marketplace, a whipped shea, cocoa, and mango butter boutique. We also sell authentic African black soap. Today's video is brought to you by our vanilla latte blended butter. It has shea butter, mango butter, coconut oil, almond oil, vanilla extract, and coffee essential oil. It smells like a latte. This one I took off the shelf in our storefront because it started to melt a little bit, but it firmed back up. You see it looks kind of bubbly, but even in melted state, the texture is still really good. It's really good. They stay soft. And as always, show you how it blends in. Very absorbent. This is my favorite one. You see the sheen? This is my favorite scent of all the scents that we have. It smells like a coffee drink. And some people hate that. They're like, why do I want to smell like food? I'm just like, I don't know. I love coffee. I love putting creamer in it. So for me, I really love this. And I keep this one in my gym bag because I shower at my gym. So this is my like after shower gym butter. And it can last a while. Like because I only use it when I shower after the gym. This size can last me like 2.5 months. And it's only $9. So, yep. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about social media and productivity as a small business owner. And this topic is really kind of near and dear to me because I was a blogger for 10 years. And I know you've heard that if you watch my other videos, you know I tell this story a lot. If you're new, I have to kind of reintroduce it. So as some of you know, some of you don't, I had a natural hair blog called Black Girl with Long Hair for 10 years, starting in 2008. And it went defunct. I stopped updating it around February, March of this year. So I had the blog for 10 years. It was very high traffic. It was very successful and well received, but it required me to be in social media almost daily. And there were a couple things. First of all, I think that was terrible for my mental health. This was in my 20s this happened. And I think the 20s are already a pretty tough time for a lot of people as you're trying to find yourself and your way in the world, and being on social media all the time definitely did not help that at all. And it's a heavy price I paid to have a website that was successful. I paid a really high price in terms of having to expose myself to social media almost every day because I had to keep up with the trends for natural hair and just the different topics of discussion regarding Black women and beauty. So I was on Facebook a lot in particular. And then it's also, so then there was that. And then once I stopped blogging, I for real think I had a social media addiction. And I know this is kind of a new field, that, psychologists and researchers are just starting to look into, but I really think that I had an addiction. And the crazy thing, it's not that I updated my page so much. I'm not active on my Facebook page really anymore. And I have like one Instagram that I update sporadically, but it was more looking to social media to give me a high when I needed it. So I'm bored. I need to look at something. Let me pull up my phone. I'm sad. I need a distraction. Let me pull up my phone. I'm lonely. I need some company. Let me pull up my phone. And after 10 years of being in social media all the time, like these were my habits and they were really bad for mental health. And I think I really had to learn how to bring my life back, like off of social media and back into the real world in a major way. And for most people, it probably isn't that extreme. I think because social media was such a heavy part of my job, that's why I struggle so much. For average person, they might not deal with the same thing. So, I want to talk about 5 reasons why I don't think that being heavily involved in social media is good when you're an entrepreneur, particularly when you're a mother and an entrepreneur, a mompreneur, which is kind of a weird word, but I don't know, it gets the point across. I like wrote down some notes because I don't want to ramble this video. So number one, it's a waste of time. This one is probably the most obvious. It's easy to get in comment box fights with people. It's easy to follow drama and go down rabbit holes. And when you're trying to get a business started, that is precious time gone. Particularly me being a mother, when my kids are in preschool, daycare, public school, and in my previous video, I mentioned this when I talk about how I'm managing everything as a single mom of 3 young kids. That time, first of all, it's expensive. I've paid for it in the form of having my kids in childcare and education so that I have my time to work. And also the labor. Like I oversee the manufacture of the products, but I'm not really scooping butter like I used to in the past. That's something I've handed off to other people so I can spend my days doing marketing and customer service and strategy and stuff like that. So I've paid for this time. And if I go down a rabbit hole on social media, that's time I paid for going down the drain. It's a waste. Number 2, I think that the friendships and the bonds that you form on social media, personal and business, really, man, are not that strong. And this is something I've learned in my, again, like I'm not saying this is the case for everyone. I know people who have found best friends on social media or built great connections, but in my experience as a blogger and now as a beauty brand owner, no. It would be different if it was like it started on social media and then it was someone who was like, okay, let's do business in real life or let's meet up in real life. But contacts that stay on social media, no. It's weak. Like it's not based on anything much. How are they helping you grow your business? Are you guys doing deals together? No, it might just be someone who admires your Instagram and they own a business too and they comment on your posts. That's cute and everything, but if you're trying to advance your brand, that's not much. And you even have to be careful of the quality of the people, of the connections that you do make on social media. In my experience, I haven't found the business connections I've made on social media to be particularly strong. I'll give you an example. There was a lady who hit me up. First on LinkedIn, even though I do think LinkedIn is a little bit more robust in terms of the connections you build. So I would say maybe LinkedIn is an exception, but Facebook and Instagram, it really is hit or miss. So there was a lady who had heard about BGLH Marketplace, liked the concept. She was like, I want to have you speak at my event in Manhattan. And she was going to have on the panel, it was for Black women entrepreneurs. And that's a topic that's really dear to me because I've been an entrepreneur for so long and I know the highs and the lows of it. And I really love to talk to groups of women who are interested in giving it a try. So I was like, yeah, I definitely want to speak. I want to support. She was not offering a speaking fee. And it was happening on a Saturday, which, as you know, since my kids are in school all week, Saturdays and Sundays are really important because it's when I have quality time with my children. But I agreed to speak. She had a cute Instagram page or whatever. I agreed to speak. She sent an email to the speakers, and there were other women on the panel whose businesses that I had admired from afar. So I was like, okay, it'll be a great chance for me to meet such and such in real life. It's going to be great. She asked us to come early, to go in the green room and get ready for being out front and our panel, being filmed and speaking live. I got there. We were supposed to be there 30 minutes early. I got there like 15 minutes early, panicking because I'm thinking I'm late for this event. She wanted us to be there because I like to be on time. I got there. The panel before ours was still going. I waited 15 minutes after ours was supposed to start, still going. 30 minutes, still going. An hour, still going. 2 hours, still going. And the lady, so I wound up having to leave because I was like, I paid for a sitter. The sitter's time is pretty much up. I don't have time to speak. And I was so upset. I texted her on the way home. I was like, you're a Black woman about supporting Black women and you're going to waste another Black woman's time like that? Like you could have put me on that first panel or cut it short or something. And not just me, but the other panelists. She responded basically with a sorry, not sorry. Like, well, you should have booked the sitter for longer. And like, honestly, that's just an example, but unfortunately, it's that type of, like, I don't find people who are seriously and professionally business minded that much on social media, you know? And it's just not worth it to me to be like trying to make these connections on Instagram or whatever. No, like, I've always had an approach, let people come to me, and when they come to me, let me see if they're serious. And if I do have to reach out to people, I try to be as strategic as possible. Like, I need XYZ. Let me see who can help me with XYZ. Not a general, generic, like, oh, let me just be part of this Instagram entrepreneur community. Like, I think you have to be focused or you can waste your time. So the number 3 reason, I think there's a lot of bad information floating around on social media. I mean, they're just I do not find good business advice. There's all these memes. Oh, they sleep, we grind. When in fact, sleep is very important to trying to grind. You know, there's just like a lot of just like very shallow, general, generic inspo type stuff. When I have found that business ownership, especially small business ownership, especially Black small business ownership, you have to know, like, before you take steps with marketing, production, manufacturing, you have to know, you have to research. I spend so much time in Google Analytics. I spend a lot of time just analyzing our different marketing approaches, which ones work, which ones don't, looking for case studies online for businesses similar to mine who have tried various approaches to different things. This is just not the type of stuff you find on social media. It's just this very shallow advice. And there are, you know, a few women who have podcasts that I think can be helpful if they ask really targeted questions to the guests they have on about how they build their businesses, such and such. But I think outside of that, like, no, there's not a whole lot. I'm talking about scrolling through a Facebook or an Instagram. You're not going to find a lot of the information that you need. Definitely, like, I've been doing, there's not podcasts that I listen to, but I do like listening to YouTube videos. So if there's a particular business thing I need information on, or just life thing, you know, I like to YouTube videos and you know, listen to those. But yeah, and if, you know, I don't know, I've heard there are really good podcasts out there. I haven't checked them out yet. So that's something I definitely want to look into. But no, just scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, you're not going to find what you need to grow as an entrepreneur. 4th reason, the immediacy of social media gives you false expectations. So, like, when I was a blogger, my posts would often go viral. So say I did a post like, oh, check out these 15 hot styles, like braided styles for the summer. Put that up on Facebook, put that up on Instagram. Tons of likes, tons of comments, tons of shares, tons of clicks back to my website. And now that I'm in e-commerce, that process is way slower. Like, from the beginning of someone first encountering BGLH Marketplace to actually buying something from BGLH Marketplace, that can take months, literal months, to really bring an audience in, let them, educate them on your brand, what you do, have them, you know, view, you know, what your brand is like the reviews, you know, what your social media is like in terms of how you present your brand. And then maybe when you have a sale or something, they might be like, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. And what I found is when I quit blogging to work on BGLH Marketplace full time, I got so discouraged. I was like, why am I, like, I put up this article about how great our products are. Why aren't people buying right away? And I realized I was still in that viral, immediate, you know, instant gratification mindset of social media. And it's not, I mean, there are some social media brands that can do that. Like a Fashion Nova can put up, and they've earned that, you know, but they've been around for a while. I think they started in 2006, I want to say. I just read an article about them that was really fascinating. I think they started in 2006 or earlier. So anything they've built, this is 12 years later. There's not a lot of my brand is 3.5 years old. There's not a lot of really young brands that can just put a post up on social media and everything sells out. You know, that comes much later. cultivating an audience takes time. And so for me, the instant gratification world of social media, I kind of had to unlearn it and refocus. And the fifth reason that I don't think social media and business productivity mixes is that you will second guess yourself. In my first video I did, I talked about how no one thought BGLH Marketplace was a good idea. I mean, literally no one in my life at the time. I was married at the time. My ex-husband he didn't detract. He wasn't like it's a bad idea, but he was kind of indifferent. That was literally the best response I got. Everyone else was like, why would someone pay for whipped shea butter? Imagine if I had been in a Facebook group like, hey guys, I got this idea to whip shea butter. What do you think? I bet, and not even in terms of shade or being mean-spirited, I bet a bunch of people would be like, why would you do that? That's not a great idea. People aren't going to pay for that. They can do it at home. And then also too, like the internet culture, the social media culture is very shade heavy. People are getting dragged every day. People get shaded every day. If you have an idea, one of the hardest parts of being a business owner is believing in your idea and hanging on to it as life gets crazy or unexpected. So I don't think it's the best idea if you have a concept to be looking to social media for validation or advice, because then everyone else and their own baggage and issues and point of view is coming onto you, and you might take what they're saying at face value, not understanding that there's all this stuff behind it. So I don't think it's particularly helpful from an entrepreneurship standpoint. So for me, instead, I've really been focused on, like I said, bringing my life offline, spending a lot of time with my kids on the weekend, and just spending time in the real world and seeing how brand virality works in the real world. Like when I'm talking to like the moms at my kids' school about what hair products they use or what skin products, I listen for like, okay, how did they gain trust in that brand? Where did they find it? If it was online, how did they find? And that helps to inform how I market my materials, because even though I'm not like in social media a lot, I do a lot of online marketing. That's the main way we market, is online. I mean, like with this video, for example. But I think that I try to be strategic with how I employ social media and only use it when I need it. And then when I'm done using it, I'm out. This is, I should say, to be completely honest, this is an ongoing thing. I'm not on Facebook at all really anymore, except to update BGLH Marketplace. I'm not on Instagram really, except to update our Instagram account. And I have like a personal Instagram that I update sporadically. I do these YouTube videos, but there are some habits that are hard to break. I can waste a lot of time in Lipstick Alley. I'm not even gonna front. Like, there's so much drama and so much tea that sometimes I be going down the rabbit hole, which is, fine. But I think that's one thing I've been working on. Like, okay, is this a good use of time? But I think honestly, aside from that, like, no, I'm really not online a lot. Yeah, I just really, and I mean, real life is beautiful. The real world is beautiful. Real world friendships and connections are very nourishing. And there's just a lot to be gained from turning down the phone, closing the laptop, and just going out, like going to a cafe in your neighborhood, going to a book reading, going to the library, like just meeting a friend for drinks. And I think it's energy better spent than being in social media all the time. And I think too, social media is so new to us as a species. I feel like as humans, like a lot of research it's a new phenomenon. And I think there's a lot of research that's going to be done in the coming years about how it affects us. And is it good and the studies have already shown that it's really not good for you, for your mental health, for the most part. I mean, there's some exceptions, but generally it's not. So that is my video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to link to the vanilla latte blended butter below. As always, I love your comments on this. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to be instantly notified when I put up a new video. And I will catch you later. Bye.